I am very glad I saw those emails from you. So that saves me some recap making time. I appreciate that. And very good. So there's one thing that I still see, and it's really on the low E and the A string, and that's the index finger not always wanting to be down. So I don't know if it's just because it's the lower strings or if it's because of the stretch. So that's what I gave you, something that's going to address that. I'm going to demonstrate that next. I'll give you some examples to follow along with here. Now, you got the count. You went through the count very well, very quickly. So for me, I will be saying the count as I at least do the 60 because, for one, I have not practiced this. So I want to make sure I keep myself in, playing the right stuff. Yeah. So you don't have to count it, but if you find it helpful to do so, absolutely do that, especially at the beginning speeds here. So let's see what happens. 60 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, 1, and 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and so, as we talked about at near the end of the lesson, curved lines, that's your slur mark. The slur mark basically is telling you that you will pick the note that begins, or where the slur begins, but you don't pick anything else. So you're picking here, 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 here. Basically, anytime you go to a new string, here, here, here. This is one time you're on the same string but picking again because you're playing the same note twice. You pick that, pick here, 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 and obviously the chord. So yes, there's here is the first time you will pick the same string twice. That's because you're playing the same note twice. And that also happens here. You'll play the same string twice, or pick the same string twice because you're playing the same note twice. But other than that, basically anytime you go to a new string, that's when you're going to pick. Alright, let's try this at 80. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 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 1, 2, 3, 4, For some reason, I really want to play straight eighth notes when I get to this part. So I say I hadn't practiced it. I did run through it a few times, like almost an hour ago. So you get to watch me make some mistakes here. This is not an easy thing to do. 1, 2, 80 beats per minute. 4 Other thing I'm having to really think about, and you might notice this when you're doing these that bottom line, is you got to be very careful with how you're doing your pull-offs to make sure that you're not pulling off too far and strumming a bunch of strings. So, like when I'm pulling off here, I'm basically trying to make sure that I rest on the D string after I've pulled off from the A string. So I'm not like trying to put my finger down on it, but it's definitely just gently touching it. So pulling off the open strings can sometimes be a challenge. Let's try 100. 1, 2, 3, 4. Under 20. 1, 2, 3, 4. $140. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now 160. So 160, this is the speed I have everybody else trying to work up to when it comes to these eighth note legato patterns. Granted, I also don't. You're the only person I've given this specific kind of pattern to. I'll do something like this and then repeat it. I might do something like this and then repeat it, but not going from these four patterns to these four patterns, meaning this one, this one, this one. Anyway, there's 4 different rhythms going on here. I can't think I've ever given somebody else 8 different legato patterns in one thing. So again, I'm trying to match this to what I feel is your skill set. So here goes 160. Let's see if I can do it on the first go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Definitely has to be a very conscious thing right there. So if you get to that, you don't have to go any further, but I have a feeling you're going to want to push it further. So I'll try and go faster here. 180. This is the most I've practiced this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is some serious concentration needed. 200, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll try 220. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. No. So this might be it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Woo! Lordy Lord. 240. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Good God. I feel like I was like holding my breath the whole time with that. So there you go. Yeah. Again, if you get to 160 and you want to call it, that's totally fine. But there we go. You can. It's definitely possible to get it up to 240. It ain't easy. It ain't easy. Okay, number 5. This guy. So this is to help you focus on keeping your index finger down during the bigger stretches on the low strings. So again, I don't know if it's because of the low strings or if it's because of the whole step stretch that's going on there. But let's deal with this guy. This will be a lot easier to get up to 240. All right, 60. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you may have notice that I use my ring finger instead of the middle finger for that stretch. You using the middle finger is totally fine. My wrist is very unhappy with me if I use my middle finger instead. So I gotta use my ring. Alright, 120. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I gotta really lean over to get that stretch going because I got to keep my wrist straight. Or else, again, my wrist is very unhappy with me. Alright, here it is. 200. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I haven't been hitting that last note at all, have I? Sorry about that. I don't know why. I just now realized, oh yeah, I put in a note at the end there so we can end on a downbeat. 240. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, whoops. All right. So yeah, let me know if you got any questions with this or the other one. And then yeah, just send stuff over when you got it. And I'll see you in another video soon, I'm sure.